What's up, y'all? Welcome to the What is Truth podcast. This is Weezy's weekend wind-up. And, should be a doozy. Just want to preface by, with some shout-outs. Stephanie Lewis in the motherfucking house. Miss Lemons, Miss T, Roscoe Coltrane. Hell yeah. Who else we got up in here? Weeping Willow on satin pillars. Demelza Bowen, Miss Heaven Sent, the lovely Charlemagne. Hell yeah. All right. Want to start off by saying that I did record a podcast. What's up, kitty cat? In the house. Yeah, I did record a podcast with Chancey Poo Poo just about an hour ago. I'm gonna edit it and put it on. I'll probably put a clip on the Daddygate Channel. And but if you want to listen to the entire conversation with Chancer, you will have to either follow me on Odysee or rokfin. The rokfin link to my channel is in the pinned comment if you are listening on YouTube, and or just follow me on whatever podcast platform that you follow, Spotify, Apple Podcast. And it was a great conversation. We really didn't do any Daddygate stuff. It was just a general conversation. And Chancer and I felt extremely good about it, and we may be doing them a little bit more regularly. You never know, so just keep your eyes peeled for that. What's up, Alex? And yeah, it was great to catch up with my homie Chancer. Funny how that worked out. We just started messaging each other. I go, dude, let's record a show right now, and it worked out. The other thing is, after this Weezy's Weekend Wind-Up show, we are gonna take the show over to Rokfin. If you haven't done so, link again is pinned at the top of the live chat. You can make a free account. You can pay for a premium account to get premium content, but I am not in it for the money, so do a free account and you will have access to my live streams. The live chat is very similar to YouTube. And we won't have any buffering issues like we've had in Odysee. Odysee is getting better, but they still lack in that department a little bit. And if you don't want to do that, you want to catch the re-upload, it will be on Odysee. So check it out. And if you are listening only on podcast platform, if you're on Spotify, hit those 5 stars, please. That will help the show. If you are on Apple Podcast, write and review. All right, enough of that nonsense. So, this week marked the end of an era, I suppose. The Queen is no more, and I want to tread it lightly because I realize that there are some people that are hardcore royalists, if you will. And there are other people that don't give a damn. And so, keeping that in mind, I don't want to offend people, and I'll try to tread as easy as I can. I don't want to be too harsh, but at the same time, I do feel the way I do. And so, let's go over it. If you've been living in a rock early this week, we found out of the passing of an era, if you will. All right. So this article is by the AP, by Jill Lawless. What a name. Danica Kirka and Sylvia Wee. Charles is proclaimed king. Sons unite to thank the public. London. All right. King Charles III was formally proclaimed sovereign of the United Kingdom on Saturday as officials unveiled details of the meticulously choreographed ceremonies that will culminate in the state funeral of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, on September 19. In this time of sorrow for the House of Windsor, there were hints of a possible family reconciliation. Prince William and his brother Harry, together with Catherine, now Princess of Wales, and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, delighted mourners near Windsor Castle with a surprise joint appearance to thank the public for their floral tributes and condolences. It was the first time that quarreling younger royal generation had worked together publicly since the Sussexes stepped aside from royal duties in 2020 and moved to California. The thousands who flocked to Windsor on a sunny day were in their thrall as the couples gratefully accepted flowers, talked to parents and children at length, shook hands, and accepted heartfelt condolences. Let's skip through all that shiznit. Yeah, you can read the rest of the card. Just going on. Let's see. The 73-year-old Charles, who spent 7 decades as heir apparent, automatically became king when his mother died and vowed to follow her example. But the Ascension ceremony was a key constitutional and ceremonial step that introduced the new monarch to the country, a relic of a time before mass communications. I am deeply aware of this great inheritance and of the duties and heavy responsibilities of sovereignty which have now passed to me, Charles said as he took duties of the monarch. So there you have it. The new king will be Charles. Yeah. So my personal feelings on it is that it's hard for me to find sympathy for a figure such as the Queen that had many, many shady things, from disappearances of Native Americans. Research it, look it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. To her friendship with Jimmy Savile, Epstein, her own son, Nance Andrew. It's hard for me to sympathize for someone. My grandma passed away, lovely lady, an angel, a saint, and she didn't get no lavish ceremonies such as the Queen is currently displaying. It's not to hate, but I find it hard, so I'm not trying to offend anyone. Again, I'm trying to tread carefully. But that's just how I feel. I mean, let's look at this article here. Cunard's Queen Elizabeth plans Sir Jimmy Savile tribute. Written on January of 2012. Let's see. Luxury cruise, and it's on the BBC News. No author, crazy enough. But luxury cruise company Cunard has confirmed its liner Queen Elizabeth is to pay tribute to Sir Jimmy Savile with a special sail past of Scarborough. A tribute to one of the most notorious pedos that we've known about. A tribute. He was knighted. The veteran broadcaster and pedophile, who died at the age of 84 on 29th October, is buried in the resort, where he had a home for more than 40 years. He had traveled extensively around the world on Cunard ships. The Queen Elizabeth has been specially scheduled to sail past Scarborough at 3 o'clock BST, whatever the hell that time is. A spokeswoman for the cruise company said the vessel would sound its whistle in respect to Sir Jimmy, who was a true friend of Cunard. He was marvelous on the ships, always speaking to anyone and everyone as he made his way around the decks. Yeah, that's one example there. Remember this picture here? Epstein and Maxwell hanging out at the Queen's cabin. Good friends of the monarchs. And there is some footage of from earlier today, Saturday, of some of the royals paying respects. There's old nonce Andrew being awkward as he usually is. Probably sweating, or oh yeah, he doesn't sweat. But yeah, that's how I feel about the Queen. I know there's people sad and depressed over that. I am indifferent. I find it very hard to sympathize for that kind of people. All right, so I want to, with 9/11 on Sunday, every year that passes by, we forget what a big deal it was, what a world-changing event it was. And this is an article that really, really hits. All right, this is from ABC News New York, Channel 7, or I'm sorry, ABC7NewYork.com. And it is titled, FDNY Fatalities from Post 9/11 Illnesses Set to Surpass September 11 Death Toll. God damn, that's heart-wrenching. New York City. Firefighters are dying from September 11th related illnesses at such an increased rate that the number of department deaths will soon surpass those killed 21 years ago at the World Trade Center. We lost 30 in the last year, over 300 post 9/11 deaths, Sydney Firefighters Association President Andrew Ansbro said. In the last week of the summer, we had a funeral every single day of the week for members that had passed from 9/11 related cancers. The fire union official spoke next to the World Trade Center site Friday, calling for increased funding of James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act. They also called out politicians who they say speak out only on the September 11th anniversary. If they are going to be prepared to talk about it on Sunday, we expect them to be prepared to vote on it when it comes to the floor. Damn straight. They said nearly 300 firefighters have died of 9/11 related illnesses since the attacks, but they suspect there are more. There are dozens of members that I know of personally that were here. They were retired. They came back to work and they passed, Ansbro said. They are not officially recognized, but the number is well over 300. The FIDNY says that 37 FIDNY members died of September 11 related illnesses last year, bringing the total ever closer to the 343 firefighters who died on 9/11. Due to the fact that we lost about 3% of the fire department in 1 hour, 343 members, it's taken 21 years to get where we are now, Ansbro said. Unfortunately, we do expect to surpass 343, if not next year, the year after that. But it's not a milestone we are looking forward to, but we understand it's inevitable. Of the 2,753 victims of the attack on the World Trade Center, 40% still have not been formally identified 21 years later, according to the New York City Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. In the past year, despite ongoing DNA testing, OCME did not make any new identifications. And then here's another article. Congress, and this is by the New York Daily News by Michael McAuliffe. Congress making strides to fill $3 billion gap for 9/11 first responders, health fund sources say. The looming issue 21 years after the terrorist attacks, quote unquote, of 2001 is the fact that the World Trade Center Health Program is running a projected $3 billion deficit in its efforts to treat and monitor 9/11 responders and survivors, a gap that could start affecting services late next year. In the past, Congress ignored similar deadlines, such as forcing the 9/11 victim compensation program to slash payouts in 2019 before eventually restoring them and making compensation permanent. But Congress only did that after dying 9/11 responders like former NYPD detective Luis Alvarez made difficult treks to Washington, spending some of their final days alive pleading the case. Now it looks as if Congress may act, with sources telling the Daily News that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York will announce a solution to the funding shortfall Sunday on the anniversary. Senator Schumer has long championed securing the funds needed to provide quality health care for our 9/11 responders, many of whom got sick years after their service, said Schumer spokesman Angelo Ruffero, though he declined to lay out the details of Schumer's solution. He is working side by side with first responder unions, building trades, and other worker advocates to secure the money needed to fully fund the program for all future participants, and will look to pass it at the earliest opportunity. Schumer has said in the past he would attach the money to a must-pass piece of legislation, such as stopgap funding to keep the government open that must pass by the end of September, or to the annual defense bill. Sources told the news the most likely option now is including the money in the full-year government funding bill, which will probably won't pass until December. Advocates were encouraged by Schumer's expected announcement. It's ridiculous to even be reading such an article where there's a shortfall in funding for the victims of 9/11 21 years later, and yet we can keep funneling millions, billions to Ukraine and not even bat an eye. This kind of stuff really, really irks me. As many of you know, I am a former firefighter. The heroism displayed by the firefighters at 9/11 is what inspired me to get into the fire industry, and to see people needing to beg while they're dying of cancers just to get needed money for victims is so effing disgraceful. It should make everyone pissed off. This isn't good news at all. This is ridiculous. We shouldn't even have to be at this point, but it is what it is. All right. Some of you have heard of an Irish teacher, and there's more to the story, but the first headlines were that the Irish teacher was in prison for refusing to use pronouns. There's a little bit more to the story. I still think it's ridiculous that it had to get to the point again, but we always have to speak with facts, you know? All right. This is from the Irish Mirror. John Kierans is the author. Pronoun row teacher Enoch Burke detained in isolation in Mountjoy prison. A teacher sent to jail for contempt of court in a bitter transgender row is being detained in isolation. Devout Christian Enoch Burke is locked up in a cell on his own and is not allowed to mix with other inmates at Mountjoy. Mountjoy. There's so many jokes you can go there, especially being a prison type of deal. All right. A prison source said, at the moment, he is being kept in isolation and is not saying a whole lot to staff. He is keeping his own counsel. The case has been adjourned for a week, so we will see how he gets on. To be put in isolation is the normal procedure for new prisoners sent to Mountjoy, and especially someone who was never in jail before. The source added that Burke is being held in the C wing. He was put in isolation primarily to ensure he does not have COVID, which is normal practice. After refusing to address the transgender student with the pronoun they, Burke was suspended with full pay from his job as a history and German teacher at Wilson's Hospital School, Westmeath. which has a Church of Ireland ethos. He subsequently refused to comply. This is the real reason right here. He subsequently refused to comply with a high court injunction instructing him to stay away from the college, leading to his arrest. He defended himself and told High Court Judge Mr. Justice Max Barrett that if he had to remain in prison for every hour of every day for the next 100 years, he would not compromise his religious beliefs. The teacher added he was being denied his constitutional right to his religious freedom, that transgenderism was contrary to scripture, and that he would only obey God. I'm going to give a take that may be a little controversial to both sides. I agree with this teacher to an extent. He's like, this is all make-believe stuff. Why do I need to abide by this pronoun crap? But he wasn't in prison for that necessarily, although what led his suspension was because he refused to honor the pronouns. That being said, he's using his religious beliefs. So if you guys know me, in my opinion, I am not religious. So it's like he's denying one fairy tale while proclaiming another fairy tale. I understand that may be controversial for some people, but that's just how I feel about it. I do have his back to an extent, but we are living in Mad Max times, and that's what it is. All right, let's try to, I don't know if this article is going to cheer things up, but we will try. It's kind of a weird one. All right. This is from The Sun. Laugh if you may. Terry Ann Williams is the reporter. Rare birth. A woman 19 gives birth to twins by two fathers after having sex with both of them on the same day. Getting it in and getting it out. You know what I'm saying? All right. She was partying like a rock star. It's fair to say, I suppose. All right. Medics in Portugal said that this would be the 20th known case of a heteroparental superfecundation. Try saying that 5 times fast. All right. I guess that's the scientific way of saying getting it in and getting it out. This can happen in 2 ways. The first is if a woman has sex with 2 different men prior to her ovulation, and the sperm are present in the fallopian tubes when 2 eggs are released. It can also happen if a woman has sex with 2 different men after ovulating, and the sperm are then able to fertilize 2 eggs. The unnamed woman from Southwest Goiás, I think, gave birth to twin boys. Dr. Tulio Franco, who had been treating the woman, said her pregnancy had been smooth. G1 News reported. The boys were born healthy and never had health problems. It is extremely rare. It happens 1 in a million. I never imagined that I would ever see a case like this in my life. I was surprised by the results. I didn't know this could happen. They are very similar, she added. While the 2 boys are similar, she said doubts had arisen about their paternity. Because of this, when they were 8 months old, she took a paternity test for them, with the result being positive for just 1 child. It was then that she remembered she had sex with 2 men on the same day. The mom now says that one of the fathers acts as dad to both boys and had made this official on record. She said he takes care of them both and gives her all the support she needs. The rare medical phenomena is also common in other animals like dogs, cats, and cows. You nosy cow. It's a deliberate tactic employed by females to increase the chances of producing multiple offspring. Goddamn, women. Y'all gotta calm down, girl. But humans, who don't need to have lots of babies all at once, don't tend to do this. However, it can happen. Doesn't even need to require sex with multiple partners at the same time or in a very quick succession. The rare event can happen if sperm survives for a few days in the female reproductive tract and a woman produces 2 eggs at once. But the odds are slim. It would mean sperm having to survive for days from both men and double egg release in the same cycle. Experts have previously thought that the chances could be 1 in 13,000, although it's agreed that it's a complete guesswork. All right, that's our news for the day. We are going to take the conversation over to Rokfin. Link is at the top of the live chat. And we will take it there. We're going to be going over 9/11 stuff. We will be having 9/11 conversation with Chris Matthew. He is the president, CEO of Forbidden Knowledge News Network, a podcast with millions of downloads. I mean, he is kicking ass. And so it's truly, truly awesome to call him my friend, and he's going to join me. He does various topics, covers all kinds of stuff, so check him out. All his links will be on the stream at Rokfin, but it should be a fun time. We will be there in 30 minutes if you are listening live, and yeah, if you haven't done so, hurry up and make a Rokfin account. It's free to do, and that link that is up there is to my channel directly, so check it out. Make me your first sub, and we are gonna grow. I can speak about pretty much whatever I want to do. I don't have to self-censor the way I do on this crap platform. I've been shadow banned quite a bit, and I'm sick of it. So I would love to grow on Rokfin, and if you would like to help me and keep the party going, please follow me on Rokfin. I will still be re-uploading the shows to Odysee. So if you don't want to make a Rokfin account, it will be on Odysee. But if you want the live shows, definitely make a Rokfin account. Much love, everyone. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all your support over the last 2 years. You guys are super awesome. What's up, Lanazi C? What's up, King? Snurgle Gurgle Son and George O'Brien, welcome to the stream, guys. All right, we'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Much love, everyone.